Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. Today is the date in 1758 when Horatio Nelson was born. Nelson, famous for having lost partial sight in one eye at a battle early in his career and then losing his arm subsequently, but best known for the Battle of Trafalgar. In 1805, he'd been put in charge of the blockade of the Spanish and French fleets in the port of Cadiz, but eventually they decided to come out and engage in battle, and Nelson won a triumphant victory. But in the course of the battle, he was shot by a French sharpshooter and died. His words to his colleagues just before the battle, "England expects every man to do his duty," are well quoted. I think that the memorial that we have to Nelson is also well known, the Trafalgar Square Monument. This has been used over the years, particularly in the last half of the 20th century, to protest. In 1978, it was the first time that someone climbed to the top to make their point on behalf of the anti-apartheid movement. And subsequently, we've had people climbing up there to promote the cause of Canadian Inuits or to protest against the Chinese policy in Tibet. Or Greenpeace have used it on a number of occasions to promote particular causes, including on one occasion placing over Lord Nelson's mouth a breathing mask to draw attention to levels of pollution. What struck me about this was the two very different kinds of patriotism, two very different ways in which we can do our duty to our country. And they are, in a sense, on opposite sides of what one might call the woke barrier. The people who fight in the forces, the people who give their lives sometimes on behalf of the country in the way that Nelson did, tend to be more conservative, more patriotic. For them is often preserving what is. But I think the other kind of patriotism shown by those who climbed up the statue, the desire to be our conscience, as it were, to make a better country and a better world, that's a very different kind of patriotism that wouldn't perhaps be approved of by many of those who promote the first kind. But to me, they're both equally important, and I want today to celebrate the fact that we have people willing to give sometimes their lives, but of their time, their commitment to supporting the country, this country, the UK, in which I live, and probably you do too. So let's be grateful for patriotism in its broadest sense today.